Good evening, my renegades. Welcome back to Rogue Radio. My name is Sarah Jane. And I know that I have been on a hiatus lately. I have just been very, very busy. But now I have some time. And I have to talk about Israel and what's going on. So, jump into the trenches with me. Alright? So, for those of you who have been living under a rock like me, the only thing about me living under a rock is that I know what's going on, like, vaguely. But, as far as, like, details, I just know that Hamas is attacking Israel, and there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. So, I need to talk about it, because ever since I started Rogue Radio, I always wholeheartedly and adamantly support Israel, support Jerusalem, support it being its own state, support it being its own country apart from Palestine. I don't care if people get angry with me. It's not up for discussion. That is my God's country, and I'm very upset that they're going through all of this again and again and again. But I know Hamas has attacked Israel. There's people fleeing from Gaza, being evacuated from the Gaza, and now I'm just going to go ahead and read what is going on right now, currently. So, Israel is preparing for a coordinated attack from air, sea, and land on Hamas. Our job is to win this war, they say. The Israeli government announced Saturday that it is preparing to extend its military response to Hamas with a coordinated attack from the air, sea, and land. The Israel Defense Forces, the IDF, said on its website that the forces will ramp up the response to the deadly Hamas terror attack on Israel with an emphasis on a significant ground operation. Excuse me. In the past few days, the Israeli forces have transferred combat equipment and tools and have prepared IDF battalions for the next stages of the war. The IDF forces, backed by an extensive logistical effort and completing the reserve mobilization of the hundreds of thousands of servicemen who are preparing to implement a wide range of offensive operative plans, which include, among other things, and an integrated, coordinated attack from the air, sea, and land, the IDF said. Last Thursday, Hamas unleashed a brutal attack on Israel, invading the country and with thousands of terrorists who targeted most vulnerable Israelis, including children and infants. Listen, if you hear my husband in the background, I'm so sorry. He's having his own conversation in the other room. But, you have to be one demented motherfucker to hurt a child. And I will just say to anyone, if you hurt a child, you belong in hell. You just do. Including 27 Americans. And they killed... I'm so sorry, I'm getting distracted by my husband. Hamas killed more than 1,300 people, including 27 Americans, and took around 150 people hostage into the Gaza Strip. Israel responded with around-the-clock airstrikes hitting Hamas targets in the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military has told civilians in Gaza to flee. The civilians, however, have been prevented by Hamas from leaving the territory, and the terrorists are known for using innocent civilians, even young children and babies, as shields. Jesus Christ. The IDF said that it killed a Hamas commander who led the attack on Israel, Al-Qaeda? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Ali Khadi was eliminated by Israeli aircraft using intelligence gathered by the Military Intelligence Directorate. According to the Jerusalem Post, Israeli military officials said that its forces had killed Murad Abu Mirad and the head of Hamas's aerial system. So, that is what is going on right now. Father God, I just ask you to just plead the blood over Israel right now. You know what's going on. You see them. You see your people. You see what's going on, and you know what they're going through. And I just pray that this podcast reaches the right people who need to hear. And right now, Israel, I love you. I always will. And I will not stop talking about you. Alright? Okay, so here is some news financially. I usually don't talk about money. But the IRS estimates American underpayment caused $668 billion tax gap. The Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, estimates that the gross tax gap amounts to at least $688 billion, resulting from Americans non-filing, underpaying, and under-reporting of their taxes. In a Thursday press release, the IRS characterized the tax gap increase as a significant jump from previous years' estimates through non-compliance, which is around 15%. IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel said that the agency would apply Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA funds, to compliance efforts, namely targeting those with higher incomes and wealth. With this help of Inflation Reducing Act and funding, we are adding focus and resources to areas of compliance, including high income, high wealth individuals, partnerships, and corporations, said Werfel. I don't know. Anyway, these steps are urgent in many ways, including adding more fairness to the tax system, protecting those who pay their taxes, and working to combat the tax gap. Last month, the IRS announced that it would establish a 3,700-member special pass-through organization within the large business and international division to assist in raising high-income compliance. The newest LB&I division followed an earlier announcement pledging to shift attention to wealthy from working-class taxpayers using an artificial intelligence-bolstered detection system. The IRS promised to ensure audit rates wouldn't increase for those earning less than $400,000 annually, and additional safeguards for those claiming the earned income tax credit. It also promised to begin investigations into 75 of the largest industry partnerships in the nation by the end of the month. Earlier this week, the IRS told Microsoft it owed $28.9 billion in tax for 2004 to 2013, plus penalties and interest. Microsoft responded that it disagreed with the IRS determination, and it has paid over $67 billion in taxes since 2004. Okay. Anyway, Microsoft also said its taxes paid under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act would increase the IRS estimation up to $10 billion. According to the IRS, the 1% in compliance equals about $46 billion in collections, and that 15% of non-compliance therefore amounts to $688 billion. Well, I just want to say that COVID happened, you know. There's a lot of people that needed to keep their money, or else they would have been homeless. A lot of people have gone homeless during COVID. Trust me, I know. They came to my center. Anyway, some people are still homeless from COVID, and they come to my center. Make it make sense. Last year's compliance efforts yielded over $4.9 trillion in taxes, penalties, interest, and user fees. The other thing is that I feel like the IRS is starting to chase after not just people who have done underpayment, just evaded, or, all of that. I also believe that people who had, accepted the stimulus checks that the government gave them during COVID and a little after, I feel like we're now paying for that. You know, nothing in the government is free. Nothing. Anyway. The IRS noted that on Thursday the announcement that it anticipated its enforcement efforts and taxpayers' late payments to shrink the tax gap by $63 billion, achieving 86.3% compliance. The projected share of taxes paid between 2014-2016 or to 2016 was 87%. The IRS stated that the decline in compliance is due to changes in types of income and how that income is reported, not a shift in compliance behavior. The taxes owed due to non-filing increased from $41 billion in 2017 to 2019 to $77 billion in 2021. Taxes owed to under-reporting increased from $445 billion in 2017 to 2019 to $542 billion in 2021. Taxes owed due to underpayment increased from $64 billion in 2017 to 2019 to $68 billion in 2021. So, however, the IRS noted that the non-compliance may be greater than their estimates, and the agency cited their shortcomings in oversight on the pandemic credits, offshore activities, digital assets, cryptocurrency, corporate income tax, and income from flow-through entities and illegal activities as factors that likely rendered their $688 billion figure too low. The IRS is also announcing that the estimate was first given for a single tax year, breaking away from prior practice of issuing biennial, I don't know how you say that, tax gap projections. Anyway, tax gap estimates and projections rely on compliance behavior, completed audits, and its latest estimate was gleaned from 2014 to 2016 tax years audits. The IRS estimated the tax liability to have increased by 38% from those years to 2021. okay, tell me why this was okay. I really cry. I am just mortified for the children and the parents of these children that let their kids go to public school now. When I was in school, none of this would have happened. Back in my day, even though I'm 33 years old, if a teacher showed a movie and it had any type of suggestive content, any horrific content, they printed out a waiver and let us take that home for the parents to sign and be like, it's okay for my kid to watch this. I remember in my psychology class of my sophomore year, they had let us watch the movie Sybil, a woman who had like 27 different multiple personalities. So I was not allowed to watch it because my family was deeply religious. They thought that this was talking about demon possession and all this other stuff. And so I was told to sit out in the hall during the whole class or go to the library. This is how it worked back then in my time. All right? So, tell me why you would ever let 4th graders watch Winnie the Pooh's Blood and Honey horror movie in elementary school. Can you tell me why? Make it make sense. How is that educational? They're probably going to be like, oh, it's in the spirit of Halloween. Fuck Halloween. Fuck Halloween. You know what the origins was that all about? Do you know what that's all about? Child sacrifice. Okay? As much as I hate the fact that Halloween is a demonic holiday of child sacrifice, where they would go door to door and take one of the children from each family and then hang their heads in the trees afterwards in front of the family's home to let their family know that their child was sacrificed to whatever god they tried to please. Okay? I wish Halloween didn't have that history, but it does. Because it's fun dressing up to me. It really is. I do it all the time on TikTok. I do it all the time making videos and stuff. It's great. All right? There's some type of nostalgia for me with Halloween. I agree. I just wish it didn't have that awful history. I really don't, but it does. All right? Don't be saying this is in the spirit of Halloween. Please don't. But anyway, Florida parents furious that their 4th graders were shown Winnie the Pooh horror film in school. Parents of students in Florida charter school are upset at the 4th graders that their 4th graders were shown a Winnie the Pooh themed horror movie in class that the teacher allegedly refused to turn it off, even as the students were begging him to. Who the fuck did you hire as a damn teacher? Who the heck? I'm sorry. Listen. I know I've got a foul mouth. I know I do. There's a reason. 'Cause I hate people. I hate people sometimes. People are awful. What kind of teacher would put their class into an emotional and mental abusive environment like that. Michelle Diaz said her twins were deeply affected by seeing the horror film Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey at their school, the Academy of Innovative Education in Miami Springs. She said their math teacher put on the movie during class time. The film, unrated, and contains graphic depictions of violence, murder, torture, nudity, and profanity. How did this teacher get away with this? I mean, it is Florida. Florida has some sort of awful reputation for dumbass things. I'm sorry, Florida. I'm not going to say that all of you are like this, but I'm saying it's a bad stereotype. And I kind of understand why. Diaz said the students' pleas for the teacher to turn it off went unanswered. He didn't stop the movie even though the kids were saying, hey, stop the movie, we don't want to watch this. The mom told CBS News of the incident. While she says some students picked the movie, she didn't see that it was a valid reason for showing it in school. Of course not! It's a horror movie! It's not for them to decide what they want, what they want to. It is up to the professor to look at the content. Blood and Honey is a British indie film and features the children's book characters Winnie the Pooh and Piglet going on a murderous rampage, which includes smashing victims' head with a sledgehammer, depicting a person, and feeding a woman to a wood chipper. Damn. Among other horrific scenes. See, I'm not the type of person to watch horror films because, to be honest, it gives me nightmares. Like, I get nightmares just by eating spicy food, okay? I don't want to have nightmares that I voluntarily just trigger by watching a damn horror movie. Can you imagine what these kids are going through now? Because they have experienced this? Like, how dare him? Like, how dare this teacher? The school has issued a statement regarding the incident, saying some students had met with a counselor after viewing the portion of the film. The Academy for Innovative Education has become aware of the segment of the horror movie was shown to fourth graders Monday, October 2nd, 2023, that was not suitable for the age group, the statement said. Our administration promptly addressed the issue directly with the teacher and has taken appropriate action to ensure that the safety and well-being of the students. I want that man fired. You don't care about children. You just need to be fired. You don't need to be around children. Head of the school, Vera Hirsch, told Miami New Times that as soon as the teacher realized that it was being shown, the movie was turned off. Are you sure? Is that what he said? Because I believe the children more. Because they're innocent. She also said only 20 to 30 minutes of the film had been seen, that most of the film's grisly murder scenes take place later in the movie. It doesn't matter. They traumatize kids. What the hell are you gonna do? Hirsch said the incident had been thoroughly addressed with teachers, students, and parents, and that the students who saw the horror movie were in school and doing fine. Sure. This incident is reminiscent of a Tennessee teacher who was suspended in 2016 for showing his high school class a graphic and violent horror film, Human Centipede 2, full sequence during class. What the fuck? I'm sorry. Why? This is why I can't stand people. I just can't. I can't stand them. I can't. This is why I choose to stay antisocial sometimes. Good God. Okay, it is time to take a break. Unfortunately, I don't have an ad because Spotify for Podcasters decided to be bougie and take my ads down, so I can't get any earnings from what I give you. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know whether I'm going to set up a Patreon or GoFundMe or something like that. I really don't know, but if you have any suggestions on how I can get something going like that, that would be great. I know Spotify for Podcasters actually has like an option for people to support me by donations, but at this moment I don't really trust them, and at the moment I might actually start trying to find a new platform to speak on my podcast, because I really, really don't like Spotify for Podcasters right now. Basically, they want me to get to 1,000 listeners in order for me to get approved to be paid. And it kind of sucks that they have decided to change this all of a sudden, and it is not okay. For the longest time I have done this for free. There was no reason for me to have an ad, but once I started getting paid, it was a perk. Really, it was great. It gave me extra change. I don't really get a lot, but I do this for you. I do this for my love of speaking out against things that need to be talked about. So if you choose to support me later on, I will make sure that I find a way for you guys to support me. One way that you can support me is buying my merch. If you go to my Instagram, Rogue Radio 4, which I will put down in the links in the description below, you can also support me by buying my merch. So thank you so much. I love you guys either way. Truly, I do. Okay, so this is the second portion of this podcast where we just talk about whatever. So I found an interesting article, if the ad will not disturb me. Alright, it says, always watch your thoughts, because the thoughts that dominate our minds today will determine the future we create for ourselves. Our thought patterns shape how we perceive and engage with the world. We must be vigilant guardians of our inner mental world, live positive and fulfilling lives. We can gradually reshape a habitual thought pattern over time by consistently monitoring our thoughts and intentionally focusing on mental energy on constructive thinking. We can transform limited thinking to empowered consideration that opens up new life possibilities with conscious effort. Okay. The powerful effects of thoughts. Our thoughts impact us profoundly, far more than most people realize. Scientific research shows that thoughts directly affect your brain structure and natural wiring. The more we think of specific ideas, the stronger those connections in the brain grow. So it's basically, that's actually kind of biblical, because it does say take every thought captive. A lot of people don't actually know what that scripture really means. But what that scripture really means, it was actually explained to me from a YouTube video. The YouTube channel is called Abide, and it's kind of like a biblical type of sleep talk down. I wouldn't say they do ASMR, but they do like scripture readings and stuff like that. But one of the people that was talking in this YouTube video, they basically said that when you want to take a thought captive, such as an intrusive thought or a thought that you don't want, a negative thought that you don't want, a lot of people who have intrusive thoughts or negative thoughts, whatever they are, they usually try to fight that and argue with that. You don't argue with something that's not yours. You don't fight something that's not yours. If it doesn't belong there, you take a look at it and say, that ain't me. That's not me. That's how you battle, and that's how you conquer certain thoughts. But thoughts are also significantly influencing our emotions, attitudes, relationships, decisions, behaviors, and perceptions of reality. Negative thinking patterns such like pessimism, worry, and criticism put us in a defeating emotional state, warp our viewpoint to see the worst in people and situations, and ultimately become self-fulfilling prophecies. Wow, that is true, because what the mind sees, the mind believes, the mind achieves. Like, if you see something negative, it usually means that you believe that it's negative. It's kind of like almost a generational curse. The thinking patterns as well. So, when you see something or experience something traumatic, you believe that that's all you're going to, be in. You believe that that's the only environment that you're going to be in, and you achieve that reality by carrying it out. Whether you're escaping it or not, you have to change your mindset in order to change your environment. And ultimately become self-fulfilling prophecies, okay? Conversely, optimistic, confident, and solution-focused thoughts uplift our mood, strengthen our relationships, and expand our perspective. For example, dwell on the worst-case scenarios, and you may appear paranoid or panicked. Think about everything that could go wrong with a project. You'll lack the motivation to start. Envision others negatively, and you'll eventually push them away or incite antagonism. Believe you lack creativity or intelligence, you will never tap into your full potential. The limiting stories we tell ourselves through repetitive negative thoughts can weaken us. Yeah, sometimes you just got... Actually, my husband has really encouraged me many, many times. And he says, Sarah, sometimes you just gotta believe that you're the shit. You really do. You gotta just straighten your back, say things with your chest, and go ahead and do it. I'm just like, this is why I married you. I love you. Oh my god, I love that man. But anyway, but suppose you consciously catch this destructive internal self-talk and reframe it. This fear of failure is only in my mind. I have the skills to work through challenges. Let me think through backup plans in case obstacles arise. Assume the best in others until proven otherwise. I have unique talents to contribute if I keep developing them. Bit by bit, intentionally adjusting your thought patterns in this way transforms your life profoundly. It also helps to journal. I've journaled for a very long time. I think I'm on my 8th or 9th journal. And I just do scrap journaling. I draw, I put pictures and stickers in it and everything. Because I'm a creative person. And it kind of just tells the story of my life as it goes. And it is the most therapeutic thing I have ever done for myself. And I don't intend to stop. It is something that I really encourage other people to do, especially if they have at least some time on their hands. I know a lot of people don't. But if you do have enough time on your hands, go ahead and do it. You don't have to do it every day. I don't do it every day as much as I would like to, but I do it, and I love it. But another thing is just to really try and live outwardly. Don't live in your head, because the more you live in your head, the more insecure you'll be, because we are our worst critics. We will be hard on ourselves, and it's not okay to live in your head all the time. The more you live in your head, the more you will also make mistakes. The more you're afraid to make mistakes, the more you make mistakes. And the more hard on yourself you are when you do make a mistake. When I make a mistake, it depends on the situation, but if I make a certain mistake, I will outwardly laugh at myself and be like, oh my god, I can't believe I said that, or oh my god, that's hilarious. If it's something real serious, I will get upset. I'll just be like, oh, damn it. I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry. But I'll have my time to either write it down or whatever and move on. Don't mention it again. The importance of self-awareness. A critical first step is increasing self-awareness to catch problematic thoughts sooner. Set a daily intention to pause frequently and observe your thoughts objectively and compassionately. Try mindful breathing while asking yourself questions like, what am I thinking right now? Are these thoughts helpful or productive? How are they impacting my emotional state? Are there any distortions or generalizations? What advice would I give a friend struggling with similar thoughts? See, I have a wonderful coworker, and I love him to death. He is amazing. He is a great man, and I don't care. Different. This man is amazing. And every time we work together, it is like the best time. It does not matter. But he had actually did a reverse psychology type of exercise with me because I was conflicted with something in my life personally at the time. And he said, okay, well, how about you talk to me? And I have the same problems. Like, it was like I was giving advice to myself. So he was pretending to be someone with the same problems that I had, and I was giving that person advice. So it was basically giving myself advice, and it was such a beneficial type of exercise, and I just love that man. I really do. So try to think outwardly as well. Like, have someone there to have that type of exercise with you, especially when you have problems, because people don't realize that we have the answers in ourselves sometimes, and that's something that he taught me to do. Let's see. Make this check-in process a habit, and it will get easier over time. The earlier we can identify limiting, exaggerated, or critical thinking, the quicker we can hit the mental reset button. Let harmful and destructive thoughts pass by without judgment, rather than engaging or amplifying them further. Yes, there's just like a few words that my friends and my family would always say. Don't entertain the thought. If you feel the need to fight an intrusive thought, it's actually not really your thought. It's a thought being fed through your mind, because unconsciously, I feel like, scientifically and psychologically speaking, I feel like all of us get triggered every single day by certain things. Some of them are higher I don't want to say higher frequency, but higher intensity than others. And when someone or something outward in our environment triggers something, it can trigger an intrusive thought, whatever it may be. And those intrusive thoughts actually are challengers to who you really are. And I can talk spiritually too. People who have intrusive thoughts, those are demons challenging who you are. They're challenging your identity in Christ. They're challenging your identity as a person. And the more you believe those intrusive thoughts, the more you're starting to become a victim to those thoughts. So anybody who is struggling with intrusive thoughts, trust me, I have been there. Recovery is real. It really is real, but not without God. Not without God. I know. Listen, I know a lot of people don't believe in God. I don't. I just, listen, I love you. I hope you do find him. Okay? Once greater self-awareness helps us identify unhelpful thought patterns, we can redirect our mental focus more constructively. Here are some proven techniques. Create simple positive statements, starting with phrases like I am, I choose, I believe. Repeat those to plant empowering beliefs and counteract negative talk. For example, respond to I am so disorganized and scattered brain to I am capable of learning organized habits. It's all about speaking the opposite of what you're thinking. I believe in a thing called speaking life into things. So the more you speak what you want, the more you are likely to achieve what you want and what you need. Because you're speaking blessings over yourself, you're speaking blessings over other people, you're speaking blessings over your life, your finances, all of that. So the more you speak it, because that's a faith-based thing, which I feel like every Christian should know, you are allowed to have that authority in saying, I am recovered. I don't have a mental illness. I don't have this. I don't have that. Or I don't have intrusive thoughts. I am a capable person. I am a focused person. I don't have dissociative times where I check out. I am capable of a lot. It's all about speaking life over what you're struggling over. Not only is that like a spiritual thing that I feel like a lot of Christians should do, but I also think that it is also retraining your brain to think more positively. Visualization: vividly imagine your desired future life, goals, circumstances, behaviors, and thought patterns. Envision handling challenges with confidence and wisdom. The brain has difficulty differentiating between visualized and authentic experiences. So this is mental rehearsal and can reprogram your neural pathways over time. Gratitude: consider the blessings and positives already present in your life, however small. You appreciate that, or you appreciate what we already have, counterbalance the mind's tendency to fixate on problems or lack. Seeing thought adjustment as a series of mental wins helps maintain motivation, which regular practice redirecting your thoughts, you'll gradually notice more positive emotions, interpretations, behaviors, and real-life results emerge. Let these minor signs of progress further inspire your daily thought awareness. Oh my goodness, how long is this thing? There's so much already. Okay, we're almost done, kind of. Probably like 8 more paragraphs. Anyway. Okay. If you hear my husband laughing in the background, he's just the happiest man right now. Oh my goodness. The the compounding effect of thoughts over time, the consistent focus required to reshape thoughts patterns, takes action or takes effort, but the compound results make it well worth it. Our thoughts and beliefs strengthen them like muscles the more you employ them. Yeah. Day after day, intentionally cultivating more empowering thoughts, and letting limiting ones fade away without engagement, shifts our mental outlook and consistencies, consequently. I can't. Never mind. I can't say that word today. With relentless negativity, we dig ourselves into a hole that feels inescapable. But the inverse is also true. Consistent positivity, productivity, solution focus gradually build up upon each other and lift us higher. Psychologist Barbara Fredrickson describes how developing daily positive thinking habits creates an upward spiral toward greater well-being and flourishing. So don't underestimate the power of patiently adjusting your thoughts and beliefs through simple daily reflection, mindfully returning the needs of positive thoughts like a garden allows bountiful fruits to blossom in time. Be encouraged, and your conscious focus is never wasted. Even if you can't see immediate results, your transformed outlook will eventually create visible change. Doesn't it say in Romans 12:2, do not be... What is it? Do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's what I mean. Renew your mind every day. That's something that we Christians really need to believe in. John's journey, a case study. Oh, do we really need to go through that? I don't think we need to go through a testimony right now. You can rewire your thinking. Our thoughts may feel temporary or fleeting, but they have immense creative power over our lives, both in the moment and long term, and everything we accomplish begins as an idea in the mind. We can identify destructive thought patterns and redirect our mental narrative with present awareness and concerted effort. We have capacity through simple daily reflection to catch limiting thoughts and reframe them for empowering ways. While constant vigilance required, we are not helpless against our thoughts. We can unlearn self-sabotage and unlock more significant potential with patient nurturing of positive thinking habits. Our thought seeds become the harvest we reap. So let us be intentional gardeners. That is actually a beautiful analogy. Listen, I am not a big listener of elevation worship. There's probably only 2 songs that I like. Alright, but go ahead and listen to Old Church Basement, because that has been in my head all day. I love it. It really speaks to me. But anyway, 10 best steampunk anime ranked. Listen, before I loved anime, I loved steampunk. One of these days, if I can find a way to take my old, like, steampunk videos off of my personal Instagram and share them with you on Rogue Radio Instagram, I will for, like, Throwback Thursdays, because, listen, it was great. I really had a time with being, like, doing steampunk cosplays. I'm a steampunk child. I really am. I love it. But anyway, the 10 best steampunk anime ranked. These shows showcase a unique blend of Victorian era aesthetics with industrialism for viewers to enjoy. Lovely. Excuse me, I needed a burp. Anyway. Okay, steampunk. Okay, we're not gonna go through the intro, but number 10 is Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, which looks fucking badass. You can stream it on Crunchyroll. It is, it's got 12 episodes. So, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress portrays a post-apocalyptic steampunk. I love it already. Setting in the world overrun by zombie-like creatures called Kabani. We're gonna say that. These zombie-like creatures have survivors residing in fortified cities connected by armored steam-powered trains to protect themselves. Oh god, I'm such a fangirl. I love it. I love it already. The anime series centers around Ikoma, a young steamsmith who developed a specially designed steam-powered weapon named the Piercing Gun. During a dreadful encounter with the Kabani, Ikoma gets the chance to test the Piercing Gun, which proves successful, but gets bitten in the process. Oh no. He manages to stop the virus from reaching his brain, transforming himself into a human Kabani hybrid called Cabaneri. With Ikoma's unique transformation, the steampunk anime has beautifully combined thrilling battles and intricate plot. That sounds amazing. Oh. See, now you're about to just have Rogue Radio fangirl in this segment, so excuse me. The next one is Clockwork Planet. It also has only 12 episodes, but you can find it on Prime Video and Crunchyroll. I need a Netflix or Hulu anime. Why am I all of a sudden really cold? After the death of the Earth, a genius clockmaker known as Y revived the Earth using gears and clockwork, thus I'm sorry. I read the same line. Thus resulting in the name Clockwork Planet. The story revolves around a young boy named Naoto Miura. Naoto? Kind of like Naruto, but Naoto? I don't know. Who is a lover of machines and aspires to be a great clockmaker. Things change for Naoto when he discovers the automation named Raizu. After falling through his roof in a crate, Raizu was forged by Y himself and had been broken for hundreds of years, and Raizu's arrival leads to Naoto meeting Dr. Marie Belle Bridget, I don't know how you say that last name, the youngest to become a Meister. Some master engineers and her bodyguard, Vinay Halter, together They learn an uncomfortable truth and work together to prevent world-ending catastrophe. The next one is Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. This is kind of cute. It's kind of like it's a different anime style. I want to say almost like chibi manga. I don't know. The number of episodes is 39, and you can find it on Prime Video, Apple TV, and Crunchyroll. So this is called Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. Okay, I'm sorry for repeating myself. Okay. Inspired by Jules Verne's novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water is an adventure-packed steampunk anime. Set in the 19th century alternate universe, a young girl named Nadia with a mysterious gem called Blue Water crosses path with Jean, a young prodigy. After being rescued by Captain Nemo, Captain Nemo, that's great, and his submarine Nautilus, or steam-driven, what was submarine? Okay, cool. Nadia and Jean join forces with Captain Nemo. Together they set out on a journey to uncover the secrets of the blue water to take down the Neo-Atlantean forces who want to rule the world. This classic anime is a hidden gem for steampunk enthusiasts. That's really cool. Number 7 is Princess Principal. I mean, the outfits are cute, but I don't know. But number of episodes is 12. You can find it on High Dive, Crunchyroll, and Prime Video. So, set in steampunk version of 19th century London, the United Kingdom of Albion. See, there's a lot of, like, cities in the steampunk aesthetic, like, culture. A lot of people call one of those cities, like imaginary cities, Albion. I don't know where it came from, but it's great. I don't know. It's in the United. Is there a city in the United Kingdom called Albion? I need to know now. See, I'm uneducated, but anyway, Albion is split into two by a great wall due to the London Revolution, separated by a wall that runs west of the royal capital. Albion, the greatest power in the world, is split into the Old Kingdom and the Commonwealth of Albion. A team of 5 espionage agents, Angie, Beatrice, Shees, Dorothy, and Princess Charlotte, infiltrate the Queen's Mayfair Academy as Commonwealth's intelligence. With their individual skills, these teenage espionage agents undergo undercover missions in a world filled with conspiracy and steampunk technology. Number 6 is Castle in the Sky? Ah! I didn't know that was a steampunk one. Isn't this a movie, though? You can find it on Netflix and Prime Video. The number of episodes is not available, which kind of tells me that it's a movie, which I'm pretty sure it is. But telling the tale of Shita and Pazu, Castle in the Sky explores how the duo embarks on a quest to uncover the mythical secrets of Laputa, a floating castle. On their adventure, Shita and Pazu encounter government agents and pirates with diabolical motives. My phone's about to die. Studio Ghibli masterpiece blends nature and machinery in a steampunk setting that makes for a refreshing watch. Hayao Miyazaki is the series director, and it showcases it is a series, mechanical prowess of steam-powered robots, while Castle in the Sky aired in the late 1900s. What? Castle in the Sky aired in the late 1900s? Quit having that sense of humor, man. Stop. That's not funny to me. Fans of the steampunk genre will find it interesting even today. The number 5 steampunk is called Trigun. So you can find this on Hulu, Prime Video, any of those two, or those two. I don't... Brain work, please. Number of episodes is 26. Vash the Stampede is popularly known as an outlaw on planet Gunsmoke. A desert world with few resources. While the government sees Vash as a dangerous outlaw and nothing else, few know that Vash is truly a pacifist who strives to avoid taking lives but has to fight off bounty hunters. Okay. As Vash journeys through a world filled with outlaws and bounty hunters, he discovers his mysterious past and runs into Meryl and Millie, who want to bring him to justice. Trigun blends steampunk aesthetics with a feel of the Wild Wild West, portraying a tale of redemption and morality. The next one is Metropolis, and don't really know how many episodes or where you can stream it, but it's there if you search for it. It might be on Funimation. It looks like it's a very old one. But anyway, this anime series is set in a steampunk world where humans and robots live alongside each other in an era where unrest and violence increase with each passing day. In a search for Dr. Lawton, a scientist who deals in trading human organs, Detective Shunsaku-ban and his nephew arrive in the city of Metropolis. Okay. However, things quickly spiral out of control when Detective Shunsaku Ban's nephew Kenichi discovers a girl of unknown origin. This girl is later revealed to be a robot created by Dr. Lawton under the orders of the Duke Red, the city's ruler. What makes Metropolis and its steampunk setting so interesting is that the girl herself is unaware that she is a robot until the very end. Number 3 is Steam Boy. You can find it on Prime Video. Directed by Katsuro Otomo. Sorry. Steam Boy is a masterpiece of steampunk animation that brings to life alternative 19th century Victorian London setting where steam-powered inventions take center stage. The series tells the tale of James Ray Steam, a young maintenance boy at Manchester Mill who is also an inventor. Ray's life turned upside down when his scientist grandfather Lloyd Steam sends him a package from the United States. In the package, he finds a special device called Steam Ball, and a device powerful enough to drive any machine that requires him to work with nearly limitless energy. That's cool. Okay. Number 2 is Last Exile. There's 26 episodes. You can find it on Prime Video and Crunchyroll. So, Last Exile takes viewers to the planet Prester, a world where flight is the major mode of transportation. An organization known as the Guild rules the skies in the monopoly of engines and use Claudia fluid. Why use Claudia's fluid? That's terrible. A crystallized fluid that makes flight possible. In the series, 2 countries, Anatore and Disith, are at war. In the middle of the conflict, Klaus and Lavi, 2 vanship pilots who work as mail couriers, take a high-paying job to deliver a girl named Alvis Hamilton. However, a little do they know that their lives are about to change drastically because of Alvis Hamilton. So, next one is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is number 1. There's 64 episodes, and you can find it on Netflix. I didn't know that Full Metal Alchemist was steampunk. See, now I'm interested now. In a world where alchemy is both science and art, the two brothers, Edward and Alphonse Elric, try to bring their deceased mother back to life with a forbidden taboo practice of alchemy. Unfortunately, things do not go as planned, as Alphonse loses his body and Edward loses an arm and a leg. Determined to get their bodies back, their brothers set out on a journey to find the Philosopher's Stone, a legendary artifact that can restore their bodies. While this show centers around alchemy, the steampunk setting portrays cannot be ignored. That's really cool. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. My husband's asleep, that's why I'm whispering. Good night. Love ya. Bye-bye.